Hi everybody, and just wanted to send this short video to give a quick welcome to everyone who's going to be in my classes this coming fall. My name is Sasha Davis, and I'm a faculty member in the Department of Environmental Studies, Geography, and Sustainability. And as I'm sure you know, the coming school year is going to be a little bit different, and I just want to welcome you and also mention some things that are going to get you ready for the coming year. And I'm really just going to kind of break this down into three main points. The first thing that I wanted to kind of talk to you about is to understand the basic structure of how my classes are going to work. Because it says, you'll notice on your schedule, it says hybrid. Well, what does that mean? Hybrid is essentially a combination of online and in-person material. So you can do this class fully online, but there's going to be an in-person component. Why? Well, because we're trying to make sure that our classrooms aren't overstuffed this coming semester. So you will get some content online, some short lecture videos, also some documentary type videos that I would normally show in class. And you'll also have some online discussion, that sort of thing. But we will also have in-person meetings that you'll go to that are going to be a bit under 2 hours, and there'll be one day each week. Half the class will meet in person on one day and half on a different day. We don't have completely figured out who's coming to which day yet. As the semester gets closer, I'll be back in contact and make sure that we all are on the same page in terms of which day your in-person session is. So in those in-person meetings, we'll get into deeper concepts, we'll have discussions around the material, answer any questions about the online stuff, and also we'll have some exercises that we'll do in class that kind of relate to the material. So if you cannot make it to the in-person meetings, however, that's okay. You will connect live to your in-person session by Zoom, and you'll be able to take part in the conversations and things that way, and there'll be some online versions of the exercises that we're going to do. So this means that you can do this class remotely entirely, or you can take part in the face-to-face sessions. But there still will be some other material that will be delivered in sort of an online way with some videos you'll watch at home or in your dorm and those sort of things. So the good news about this is that it means that if you do get sick or you have to quarantine, you have to care for somebody else, or you need to go home for some reason or other, it means that you don't necessarily miss the material from those in-person sessions because you can still Zoom into those. And also one of the things this means is that because we have the flexibility of delivering some things online, it means that if for some reason there's worst case scenario, and like last spring when a lot of schools all around the country had to close down their in-person stuff entirely, we won't skip a beat because we still have a way of kind of communicating the in-person material, and we will also still have some of the online material. So it's a little bit of a blend. So the good news is that I actually have a lot of experience teaching online. I have taught about 20 online courses over the last several years. I've taught here at Keene State for about 5 years. I've also taught at the University of Vermont and the University of Hawaii, where I taught a lot of online courses. So the good news is that this is something that I've had a lot of experience with. So the second major point that I want to bring up is, will this year present some unique challenges? Yes, but let me emphasize really two things. First of all, a year in college is always going to present challenges, right? I know, like, for instance, especially if you're a first-year student, there's always a transition coming in, learning the new system of how to learn in a college setting, meeting new friends, all that sort of thing is always a bit of a challenge. And so that's one thing to sort of keep in mind. Yes, this semester may be challenging, but it's always a little bit of a challenge. The second thing to think about, though, is that this school year is going to end next spring, right? And at some point, this pandemic will be over. And hopefully, keep fingers crossed, sooner rather than later. And I think one thing you need to think about is, where do you want to be when that year is up, right? Do you want to have a year's worth of studies under your belt to learn some things, have some cool experiences this year? And I think it's important, because things are a little bit unique and strange this year, to kind of keep that in mind. So, like, for instance, think about what it is that you're going to do when this whole thing is over, right? So, like, for instance, I like people. That's one of the reasons I'm teaching in person for at least part of the content of this course is, this pandemic's hard on people like me because I like people, right? So let's just think for a second, close your eyes, if you will, and think about what is it that you're going to do when this is all done. Anyway, but the one thing again to think about is this is going to pass. And I think it's important to try and think about this next year, even some of the unique challenges we may have, as a way to move forward in our studies and towards the goals that we want to have, even if things aren't exactly the way we'd like them to be, because, like I said, the time will pass and so will this pandemic. Let's get some work done and be in a better position when it's all said and done. Okay, third point, which is, and I cannot emphasize this enough, stay engaged and stay in contact. In terms of the online material, the in-person material, make sure that you're keeping up with those things. Check your Keene State email. Make sure that you're also getting on Canvas, right? Our place where we kind of run our courses online through Canvas. And that's something that we use like for where the grades are and all this sort of stuff. And we do that for our totally in-person classes as well. Make sure that you're looking on there regularly to keep up with what we're trying to do here. And so one thing too is, and this is probably the most important thing, email me, email me, email me. It can never hurt you to email me. I'm a type of professor that I want to be in contact with you. I want to know what's going on. If you've been showing up in person and you need to change to remote for some reason, let me know, or vice versa, right? If there's something going on and you're having some trouble or you're falling a little behind, email me and get in contact. Do not wait until the last week of the semester and be like, I haven't turned anything in, but can I have all these exceptions? That doesn't work so well. As we're going through the semester, as you're having issues, please email me, stay in contact, and stay engaged. So anyway, that's about it for this short introduction. I will be back in contact with you again as we get closer to the semester. But again, if you have any questions about any of this stuff, send me an email, and I look forward to seeing you all in the fall.